Hello, everybody. This is Michael Leveris with jurisq.com with divorce attorney, Marina Shepelsky. And we come to you with another great topic. And as I was saying all along, Marina is not just an attorney. She's seen a lot in her cases. She saw behind the scenes what's going on, why people are getting divorced, how to avoid divorce, whether you should get divorced or not. And we're going to hit now a topic regarding people getting hurt by cheating. From what you've seen, from what you've heard from your clients, what do they tell you? What's worse, physical one-time cheating, or if your spouse has a whole long and drawn-out emotional affair where they are emotionally vested with the person they're cheating with? What do you say?
Right. So, I mean, now being a divorce lawyer has become, almost like I have to be a relationships expert and a psychologist. And we even approach how we represent men and women sometimes differently, even though I believe everybody's equal in the eyes of law. But still, the way things play out, the way fathers are treated is always a little bit less than mothers, which is unfair, but still that's a fact. So we always try to fight that. Right. So cheating is a very common cause for divorce, right? It comes up over and over again. Mm-hmm. On both sides, by the way. And there's now, there was a study done where they asked women and men in a blind study, saying, look, if you had a way to guarantee absolutely to cheat without your spouse ever finding out, or your partner, whatever, would you do it? And I think 85% said yes. Men and women,
both sexes,
both said if their spouse didn't find out, they would go and cheat, which proves that people are polyamorous, polygamous, polyamorous, whatever you call it. People like diversity in their lives, even obviously even in their sexual lives. So of course, cheating is a very complicated phenomenon, but for some people.
What do you see? You see more men come to you because their wife cheated, or vice versa? Or it's the same?
I see both, but it presents itself differently because women generally cheat almost to punish the husband, to get revenge at the husband for something he might not even know. He might not even understand what she's taking revenge on him for. And men are more sexual about their cheating, but it's not always sexual. So this is what it comes down to. For some people, they tell me, some women, they'll say, okay, my husband was cheating on me, but, it would have been okay if it was a 1 or 2 time thing. But it turns out that he had a friend that they had an emotional affair with. It turns out they didn't even have sex, but that's even worse. So then we talk about why is it worse? Yeah. So an emotional affair, right. So an emotional affair has a couple of components to it, why it's worse. Generally speaking, it's worse because he found somebody else who is his favorite person. Let's just be honest, right? So my husband, every time we fall asleep,
he can confide.
Look, my husband tells me every night when we fall asleep that I'm his favorite person. He doesn't even have to say he loves me or whatever. Obviously, we exclude kids and parents from this. But don't you want to be your spouse's favorite person? I mean, why else in this time and age do you want to be married to anybody? You don't have to. You really don't have to. You could just leave, right? But you want to be your spouse's favorite, right? That's the person you want to always tell first when something really awesome happens to you. And if you're no longer that person, you lost the very thing that makes a marriage tick, the very thing that's the foundation of your marriage. An emotional affair means he might leave and marry her. And, that's why it's worse. Because when they say, well, it was just a one-time thing, it was a one-time mistake. It was just sex. I love you. She means nothing to me. Men usually mean it. They really do. They're not joking and they're not lying. When they say it was a one-time thing, it probably was, right? They're afraid to leave. They're afraid to leave that stability of a marriage and give up their children and all the financial stuff that has to happen in a divorce. But when they have an emotional affair and they're constantly talking and telling the other woman all his stuff and, his emotional and intimate stuff that he should be telling his wife, right? Then you have a real problem, because that means he has a relationship. That means he has another relationship that's more interesting to him, and he's hiding it from you. And I personally do not really believe in friendship between men and women, although I have lifelong men friends, but we always keep a distance. There's always a line you don't cross. Like if I have a friend who is a woman, we could go to like a spa together, look at each other naked. I'm not gay, so it's fine, and whatever. It's fine either way, even if you are gay. But I'm just saying it's not sexual. But for a man and a woman, you cannot do that with that. Period. Right? We can talk about this for hours, and I'm not a feminist. I'm just saying this is a fact.
In America. If you're in Finland, that's a different story.
Right. If you were just a straight person of any gender and you have friends of the opposite gender, you potentially would sleep with them. Okay. It's as simple as that. Because you choose your friends because it's somebody who's interesting for you.
Marina, you and I are friends, but I promise we'll keep it very professional.
Yeah, but we're like couple friends, right? We're friends as couples, right? We always go, if we do hang out, it's always as couples. Absolutely. We're not like directly talking behind anybody's back, right? We never have any conversations behind our significant other's back. Yeah. And it's fine, but I'm saying like real friends, like that level of intimacy, that's like an emotional affair that that doesn't happen if you're straight with your guy friends, or with girlfriends. So that's the problem. The problem is that they have an emotional relationship of the loving kind with someone else. And it is worse for me.
But the good news is that this day and age, it's not that hard to obtain divorce, although you have to be prepared for it, right? You should probably, before you announce to your spouse we're divorcing, you should probably go to an attorney first and consult and undertake some certain steps in preparation, because it is a process.
I want to add to this as an attorney, right? I'm not just like a relationships expert. I'm actually an attorney. So here's some advice that's legal advice. Yeah, if you are in this situation, we don't judge anybody.
And you and I,
first of all, do not cheat. Yeah, for sure.
Even if you expect that you're going to reach a very friendly divorce with your spouse, you should still go to your own attorney, consult with your own attorney who is independent, and get some real advice. And the person to go to is Marina Shepelsky. Marina,
thank you.
Much into your insight into the psyche, human psyche.
And I want to add, before we say goodbye here, some pointers, some legal advice. Number one, do not cheat using social media. It's discoverable in divorce, which means the other side could subpoena. They could get the court to sign a paper that they will require Facebook and all your social media to produce to them, if you refuse to, your evidence of cheating. And in New York State and New Jersey State, it doesn't really matter whose fault it is. It's really no fault states, which means financial division will be the same whether you cheated or not, but it makes you sometimes look like a bad parent, or it makes you look stupid, frankly, So I'm telling you now, if you were going through this, do not cheat using social media or any of those messengers. It's just try to stay away.
That's a good advice, because I've read that majority of divorce proceedings in the paperwork, it has the word Facebook in it. So
absolutely.
At some
our
point,
generation uses
Facebook was involved. Now, but I have a follow-up question for you. Not because I want to teach people how to cheat and get away with it.
Exactly.
I'm just curious, what if somebody's using, have you seen in your practice where people are using messaging services from outside USA? For example, they're using Telegram, and I think they're based in UK, or they're using Vkontakte from Russia or something like that. Have you seen where that also was discoverable, or it's impossible to get it?
It's very difficult to get it. That's why if you're gonna, I hate to teach people how to do this,
exactly.
But if you're gonna do it, use like Telegram or something.
Yeah, I'm just
and delete it. And delete it, because in Facebook, if you delete it, Facebook still saves it on their platform because they're using all your information to run algorithms of what you like and sell things to you nonstop. So even I just learned this. Check this out, right? Facebook knows you're cheating before anyone else does. You know how? They have special algorithms and system where compare, if you write even once to someone on Facebook, just on Messenger, saying, I'll see you there, one time, right? They connect to the other person. They start to track your locations at different time points.
Wow.
And if you're in a hotel together at the same time, maybe you went for a coffee to Starbucks together, maybe
dangerous.
somewhere else, Facebook is tracking you and they know your location. Even that's discoverable.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
So, right. And people don't know how deep it goes. And you should watch this movie on Netflix, which I forget now what it's called, but basically they talk about all of these things. It's not like a big secret.
Wow.
It's only a secret if you don't care to find out.
Unreal.
Right?
Yep.
So
what about services like Snapchat? With Snapchat, have you seen discovery from Snapchat? Because their whole premise is messages get erased.
Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, they're all have US platforms, all able to get discovery through a divorce proceeding.
Okay,
and
so
subpoena,
now you know. Now we know. Okay, very good. Thank you for your legal advice, for your psychology advice, and I guess also your private detective advice. Okay, it was always a pleasure. We'll keep it always interesting, and you bet we're going to see you again with more questions. And if you have any questions regarding any upcoming divorce issues you have, you think you're going to get divorced, or you want to just talk it out, see what are the options, call Marina Shepelsky. The number is on the bottom of your screen. Thank you, everybody. Until next time. Thank you, Marina.